How's it going, everybody? This Seer here, and we have the blog talking about the Ultimate 32 in Season 16. I wasn't able to cover this yesterday as far as recording it to get it out today, but I did want to definitely talk about the Crucible portion on here. That's kind of my jam. Now, the Ultimate 32 is coming back for another thrilling tournament that will put your Crucible skills to the test. This 5-day Crucible Slugfest consists of 3 stages, so you'll get 6 attacks per room. Review the stage rules below and begin crafting your strategy. Following the Ultimate 32, Season 16 will begin for matchmaking and setting your defenses, so ready on after the Ultimate 32 section for the Season 16 rules. Now, what they've been doing in the past, I think 2 Ultimate 32 and Ultimate 16, is they kind of had a teaser as far as what to expect in the actual season. Now, Season 16, I do have my room in there for Room 6. I'm really happy with the one that they end up going with, so we're going to end up talking about that, kind of what kind of initial gut impressions for setting defenses, offenses for the Ultimate 32 and the Season 16. We do have chat on screen because we're live on Twitch right now, and I just kind of want to see what their take is as well. The Ultimate 32, so global rules. Basically, it's just the health and damage portion. They don't usually do anything fancy as far as that goes. Exhaust is still going to come in play. Stage 1, take a moment. So on offense, all characters lower the character's focus by 5,000%, damage by 50% for any non-Mephisto characters. This is amazing, and I've been trying to get them to put this back in the actual season. This ended up happening during the tournament that we had for, I think, Season 4 of the 5 Cs or something like that. And this was very impactful. Then they decided to kind of scrap it when Starjammers came out, because Starjammers really struggled into this because you can't really do anything. So try to put those slow characters. It was typically a Black Knight Odin comp that was like the nightmare defense for this one. I'll probably end up doing that for this. Stage 2, Sinister's Gambit. On defense and offense, all characters. Your character with the highest health clones the enemy with the highest attack clone. This is pretty interesting. So basically, you want to try to get your biggest health character the biggest possible. So like G20 them. So that way when they clone the character with the highest attack, you're going to get that clone to kind of scale off that as well. This is pretty interesting. So I'm curious how this one's going to play out. So maybe throwing like a gladiator type of thing, and then for your highest attack character, don't go something too crazy so that way they clone it. I'm not sure how I'm going to end up tackling this one. I'm curious if Kestrel's going to actually shut this down since it's going to be cloning them, or if that's going to end up happening before the order of operations. So I'm curious how the coding's going to work for this. If Kestrel's going to kind of be a thing, I might just throw her on defense to stop the clone. We'll see how this ends up playing out. Clone counts as summon. That's what I'm wondering as well. Kestrel for 2 is definitely what I'm looking at for this one for sure. Stage 3, Spiritual Energy. So on defense and offense, all characters. Anytime a character gains energy from an active ability, they gain +1 extra energy. When an enemy character dies, ally characters gain +1 ability energy. Ultimate abilities cost +3 more ability energy. This one I don't think is going to be as impactful. Trying to think of characters that give ability energy. Hitmonkey does to himself because the raid rolls aren't going to be active, so that's not going to be a thing on there. Hive Mind, Pegasus, they typically can kind of counteract and kind of get past the ultimates cost 3 more portion on here. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be a factor for Ultimate 32. I believe this is going to be in the Season 16 of Cosmic Crucible, which that's going to be impactful, depending on how you kind of stretch your defenses out. I need to try to take a more in-depth look to see who actually can give ability energy. Star-Lord's so far out of the meta, he's not going to be doing a thing on here. Maybe a Thanos endgame, that would end up being something good on here, because that's going to be giving the ability energy when you hit into those exposed. So maybe a Thanos with Kahori to get more exposed out there, so you're just racking up that ability energy. Great, another Kahori room. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Kahori, Thanos endgame type of thing. Yeah, this is going to be kind of crazy. Because get the exposed out there. Thanos endgame, she's going to end up hitting into the exposed possibly. That's going to get +1 ability energy. She's going to special and getting those ults out there pretty quick. Orcus Professor X in 3. Accursed. Who is AC? Accursed. Yeah, Accursed stops the charges. Yeah. Overall, I think this is going to be another like high offense thing. Try to get like that one monster room, probably going to end up being a stage 1 type of thing, because this is on offense only that this is going to happen. The defense side doesn't really have any drawback on here, so really draining that focus. You can't remove anything. Their damage is going to be halved. This is going to be pretty interesting to see how this ends up going. So overall, I want to see if Kestrel ends up stopping the clone monster room, and I don't think this is going to be a factor. I think it's going to be a Kahori with a Thanos endgame defense on there. Season 16 rules. So in here, the global rule is going to be Curse of the Accursed. On defense and offense, accursed characters on a successful hit are going to be applying trauma to that target. So I'm curious if like the AoE hits, if they end up not doing trauma anyways, like Helverine's ultimate, if that's going to still get that. So like if a Juggernaut ends up doing the ult, is it going to put trauma on the primary and adjacent, or just the primary? It does say to target, so that makes me think it's just going to be the primary, but typically they kind of put in their primary target type of thing. This is pretty interesting, making it to where every hit does it. And there's going to be a room that's going to be able to take advantage of this as well that we're going to be talking about. On defense, same thing as before, extra health, extra damage, and exhaust is going to come into play. Now for the rooms, stage 1 teamwork. On defense and offense, skirmisher characters are going to be getting ally assist now. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Stop and assist is going to be pretty big in here when you're going into these types of teams. So I think week 1, people's going to be stacking a bunch of skirmishers in there. Probably have the primary fastest character and second fastest character is what I'm thinking as a striker. But I think Echo kind of shuts this down. There's a lot of teams that's starting to shut down the assist now function. So I don't know how impactful this is going to be. I think week 1 it's going to be impactful. Then we're going to kind of figure out the metaphor, and it's going to be tapering off on there. Can dodge avoid the target trauma? That is key. It does say successful hit, so dodges and misses shouldn't be getting the trauma out there. So that shouldn't, it shouldn't be, but who knows? Yeah, who knows, huge ass. Stage 2, Sinister's Gambit. On defense and offense, all characters. Your character with the highest health clones the enemy character with the highest attack. So again, like we talked about before, and we need to see if Kahori's going to shut the clone down on here. If it makes it to where the one side spawns in, they do the clone, and then the other side comes in, maybe it's going to be a one-sided thing, or maybe both sides, or Kahori just shuts it down. We're going to have to figure out what's going to happen on this one. Stage 3, Spiritual Energy. On defense and offense, all characters. Anytime a character gains energy from an active ability, they gain +1 extra energy when an enemy character dies. So this is the same room 3. So stage 1 and 2 is exactly what it was in the U16. So if you forget to set your defense, I guess you're good. I do want to go back to stage 2 now that I'm thinking about it. There's characters that say it cannot be cloned, or there's like a punishment if you clone them. I'm wondering if you throw those type of characters in there, if that's going to stop it. Because I think APOC can't be cloned is one of them. Xavier might be another type of thing. I'm going to have to take a look at the characters to see who can't be cloned, who gets punished for being cloned. Because back in the day, like Rogue, like if she got cloned, she couldn't use her ultimate or something like that. So there's definitely situations where cloning is not going to be a thing. Stage 4, Solar Annihilation. This one's interesting. I think this would be a really cool global role, honestly, so it gives you more theory crafting type of things. But basically, Annihilator characters are going to count as Starjammers. So right off the bat, I'm thinking take Rocket Raccoon out, throw like Thanos Endgame in there. Gore could be an interesting one as well. I wouldn't end up using Gladiator because that's just going to make the mirror matchup even more easy. If you take like Groot out and Rock out, throw in like Gladiator and Thanos Endgame, the Starjammers are still going to walk over in the mirror matchup. So this does cause some interesting things, because if you set in a defense, what defense can you set here where Starjammers and the Annihilator combination can't clear it? This might end up being a case where this is like a dead room, possibly, is what I'm kind of thinking, because I don't want to throw something on there that's just going to get Starjammers Annihilators. I'd rather them kind of mess up their pieces elsewhere type of thing. But I'm kind of curious what chat's going to be thinking about this one. Room 2, same usual season. Kahori, Old Man Logan, Shadow King, New Emma, Omega Sentinel, and 2 same as usual. Yeah, they get Starjammer's speed stat and speed bar. That's true. Yeah, getting Gore teeing off with that speed could be really nasty for sure. Yeah. Thinking about the Gore implementation on there. Get rid of Groot. I don't think we want to get rid of Groot because he's still the sustain of the team. He gets the taunt out there. He keeps coming back to life. I think it's just going to be drop Rocket, throw like Gore or Thanos Endgame. Thanos Endgame would be really interesting, getting the exposed out there. So he's really feeding that ability energy to the team to get him going. That might be what I end up doing first. Starjammers with Thanos Endgame. Gore is another ability block. I'm thinking Gore would be really cool for sure, but do I want to take him away from Null is what I'm really looking at. Because by the time we should have another Battle World that's finishing up right now. That's not going to get us 7 stars. Yeah, we're not going to have a 7-star Null before the season ends on here. Thanos quick stun, no, if no Gore. Yeah. I'm looking at the quick stun, the exposed to get abilities, generating the ultimate to strip your opponent. That could be pretty nasty for sure. Stage 5, while they're down on defense and offense, all characters, on a successful hit, if the primary target has trauma, perform an ISO attack against that target. This is basically saying if you want throw a curse on defense, throw them in here. I don't think a curse you want them on defense. They're too powerful on offense, too easy to beat on the defensive side of things. So I don't really like that portion on there. However, having it to where it's going to be another situation like a stage 4. What can you throw in stage 5 that a curse you could try to maybe pull them in there, so not use them elsewhere, but you're not really missing anything? I think there's going to be a balance between stage 4 and 5 of what you put on defense on there. Now, stage 6. This is the room that I kind of came up with. So we have the Seer's Avengers on defense and offense, all characters. If you have at least one city ally special abilities cost 2 less ability energy. So basically, try to fit a city character in here, and your specials are going to cost 2 less. Stage 1, global, or if you have at least one global ally, when attacked, allies fill the speed bar by 5%. So basically, if you end up hitting it to a character, your ally is going to get that 5% turn meter as long as you have a global character in there. Now, if you have at least one cosmic ally in here, enemy ultimates are going to cost 2 more ability energy. So basically, you're not going to be ulting turn 1 if you have a cosmic ally in here for your opponent. I wanted a room that you're going to be able to have a lot of theory crafting portion in here to where you try to get your brain juices kind of flowing on there. Try to fit a city character, fit a global character, fit a cosmic character, kind of like an Avengers that's team where they just kind of come together, they meld, and you can kind of come up with something special on here. DNA saying Night Stalkers Kahori going in 6. So Night Stalkers, they do have global characters, they do have city characters. They are missing that cosmic ally. So if you can throw a Kahori in there, a Mephisto in there, a Null like a cosmic character, then this can kind of go at you pretty hard, especially if you're going to be specialing very quickly and often by putting that city character in there. I do think Kahori is going to end up being a thing, and we do have one ad left, so we're kind of doing another quick recap on here. I do want to jump in game though, because there's going to be something I do want to kind of look at on here. So if we go to the squads portion on here, if you just look at what full teams we actually have, Accursed, they have global and they have cosmic. They don't have a city. Do you really want to take, like, say, a Morto out and throw a city character in there, like, say, a Blade? The thing with Accursed, again, is if you can get ahead of them, they're really easy to beat, and they do like the ultimates. I don't think Accursed is going to be a thing on here. Thunderbolts, we have global, we have cosmic on here. The Thunderbolts just aren't really a great team. Sitting up to where, like, Songbird on offense, though, I've been really enjoying that portion on there. Vigilante are all city characters, so you're not really going to be able to mix and match. They want the full team to take advantage of that. Trying to make Spider Societies great again. That would be pretty cool. Starjammers are all cosmic. Liberty are all global. We have Immortal X-Men, they're offense. We have global and cosmic with Absolute A-Force. We have cosmic on here with the Astral team. But yeah, Night Stalkers is like the big one that really sticks out, because you have a city character here with Blade. You have global. Oh, that shot me back up. Let's just go over here real quick. You have a global character with Agatha on here. We also have a global character with Man-Thing, and Oath also is a city character. So they're missing that cosmic plug and play in there. So I do see Kahori Night Stalkers being a nightmare in there, because Kahori is just going to be specialing so often on there. It's going to be kind of a insane to stop. However, if you end up going into that matchup, it's going to be pretty easy to kind of stop it in a sense, because you're pushing those ultimates back for like Blade and Oath and everything like that. However, Kahori doing a special every other turn is something you have to really kind of keep in the back of your head if that's a route that you want to go. I just think that that stage 6 that we kind of have on there is going to cause a lot of the theory crafting that we can kind of want in this game. So that's why I want to go that route. There were 2 other rooms I kind of like threw out there, and I said, hey, pick the best one. This is the one that they kind of ended up going for. So let's see what chat has to say. Kingpin is city, throwing a Kingpin in. So that way you fit that city with like another team. Get the off-spawn pre-taunt in there. That can definitely be a thing. The Cosmic Ally I think is going to be the really cool one that you can really mess around with, because we have a lot of cool Cosmic. We have Null, we have Gore, we have Thanos Endgame. A lot of cool Cosmic characters. Global could be like an Xavier that you can fit in there. So yeah, let me know what you guys think as far as the rooms goes. Do you like stage 6? Hopefully you guys do. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have one for the rest of the day.